back and watching me try to put together this shredder on this ridiculous 4-part now series of how to fail live on YouTube. So what I'm presently doing is that maintenance kit I told you about. Doesn't look like much, but it's exactly every tool that we need to get this project done. So everything on the shredder, from these what I call back off bolts to, well, gloves because they get greasy. These are the new bearing nuts, and yeah, straps and things and stuff like that. So I'm gonna get this closer to the machine so we can pull from it. And I also got something for a lot of I'm not gonna say complaints, but I'm not a I'm not a camera operator. I'm a backyard engineer. I take hints very well. So yeah, got this little dude, and I think he goes like this. And he goes like that. Yeah. All right. And I'm not wearing my lapel mic. So I'm gonna actually grab that. Now, I don't know if I can plug it in. Well, yeah, I don't know if I can, I don't know, maybe it'll work. Check, 1, 2. Hopefully you can hear that. We'll find out in just a second. What I'll do is I'll log into YouTube and see if maybe. I don't know. Hopefully you can hear me. And we'll start this. Yeah. Alrighty. So, yeah, if you can hear me, let me know. Let's turn that down so we don't get demonetized. All right, great. Nice. So, yeah, let's get to it. A few things that we need to kind of accomplish first. But yeah, let me I'll put you down here. Now that I got this handy dandy stand. So what we need to do first is this thing. You know what? I'll put you up here. So I'm gonna see what I'm doing. Gloves. So we're working with what is called super sticky grease. Awesome stuff. Lucas, if you're watching, please sponsor me. Just kidding. I'm non-affiliate. I'm just super impressed with their product, and yeah, I use it on pretty much everything. So you might have saw the thumbnail, and that was my super sticky grease. So yeah. All right. So what I got to do is I got to put together this 5-ton hydraulic puller before we kind of do anything, because without this thing, we will not be able to. We'll get to a certain part of the disassembly process, and yeah, after that it'll be no good because we won't be able to go no further. So what we get is get a few of these things together. Yep, just like that. Of course, when you're live and you don't have multiple edits and resets, then you always fumble. It's just like when I'm a musician, and also, I don't know, there's some videos out there. But yeah, you can play it flawlessly when there's no one else around. But the moment you try to, say, hey, come here, check this out. Yeah, that's when you show them your best, right? So I think I got this. Basically, what we're doing here is just assembling this this puller. There's 2 holes here. Going in the last one, throwing a bolt through it. This other hinge. And then, yeah, that was a washer I need, probably. Yep. Yeah. I could have done this earlier before going live, but figured, you know what? If you have nothing better to do than to watch my YouTube videos, then you can sit by and watch me put this thing together. It doesn't take that long either. So there's that. Okay. So now that all 3 of these, right, have been put together, now what we do is we take this guy and we put this guy together like this. And there's 3 spots where this screws in. You gotta remember to hold this thing up. There's no real easy way to do it. Like they say, you just got to do it. Yeah, but what a pain, Come on, go through. There you go. Oh, we got one. Got it. All right, yeah, this is where I wish I had a fast forward button. And I haven't put this together in a little bit, so I hope I'm actually doing this right. I think I am. I don't know. Here, let's just look at what I'm doing. And I got these ratty gloves because, again, I'm not going to use nice gloves on this, you know, tacky, greased out shredder. It's just not worth it. I go through so many gloves here, honestly. So many gloves. We also get to put to test our socket that we made with the help of Zach at Dividing Dot Designs on Instagram. Guy's awesome. We heat treated this. Again, there'll be a link to my other channel that shows the heat treating process and everything. All right, so now we get this thing. If this looks like some space aged whatever, yeah. So what we do is we get this guy halfway down here, and then we, connect this. There's a hydraulic, the handle to the hydraulics, and we pump this little pin out at the end. You see this thing moving here. So, and it release. There you go. All right, so that's good. We assembled that. This guy will go over here for now. All right, get this guy out of the way. Now what we have to do is we have to get this guy. You know, I might be able to throw a light up on here to help you guys out. Get some professional studio light going here, because that's exactly what we are around here. Oh yeah, look at that. So yeah, that's nice. Okay. This monster, and put these back here. I'm gonna need those. Let's see, what else do we need? Yeah, our back off bolt and socket. All right, now what else do we have here? All right. back off bolt and socket, those guys. And then we need I think that's it. I think this is all we need. Oh yeah, 1, 2, 3, definitely 4, 5, 7, 8. Yep, that's it. So believe it or not, we need this, this, and this to do this entire thing. So yeah, I'll I don't know. I will I guess I should get started. Do you want to see just this, or do you kind of want to see kind of a panned out shot of me actually working on it? Let me know what you want to see, I guess, down in the comments. To those who are going to watch this after, sorry, you only get to see what the people have agreed on. So, yeah. I don't know, maybe I can kind of do something like this. Maybe I can like throw you guys up here. Now that I have this little tripod. It's a hot move right there though, the tripod. What do you think? Is that a little better? I don't know if you'll be able to see my giant head, but maybe if we did this. Hey, there you are. All right, maybe that's it. Okay, we're gonna need these guys. Put those up there, and we're gonna need these. All right. Now, hopefully, sometime very soon, I'll have an impact gun to back these bolts out, so I don't have to do it by hand. That would be super awesome. Because what guy doesn't like power tools, right? Yeah, these are in there. Torqued down. I believe what they're called. This guy's in there. See, what happens is when you don't have, so this is just a long piece of, this thing is maybe about, I think they call it a receiver, the receiver plate or something, the receiver race or something. And it obviously doesn't have a hinge in the middle. It's fairly long. So, I mean, to get an idea, like that's, like my hand is right. Like this thing is, you know, 2.5 feet, almost 3 feet wide. And so what happens is, and why this thing is such a pain to remove, is when you walk one side out, like when you start to separate it, we call it walking. And when you do that, the other side goes in. And then you go over there and you pull that side out. This side goes in. And you do that for, I don't know, 5 or 6 times, because you think, you know, maybe that next time you do it, it'll, you know, jog the thing out and, you know, whatever. No, but no, it never works out that way. You just sit there rocking back and forth. All right, all these bolts are out. And find something clean, put them on. These will be for the, and I eventually just, oh my God, got to the point where I said, you know what, there's got to be a better way to remove this plate, this bearing plate, or whatever you want to call it. And yeah, I got the idea from, you know, smarter people than me. And yeah, they they didn't exactly say what it was. I mean, I got to give myself a little bit of credit here, right? But they didn't exactly say, you know, hey, do this. But you know, they gave me the idea of, well, if you can unscrew, or if you can, how did it go? Yeah, we're totally scripted here on Shred TV Live. So if you can imagine putting this thing back on, right, and then over here there'd be like a gap. If you get this thing close enough, you can take this bolt, put it in, and then screw it together, right? And it locks this whole thing. So if you could screw it together and tighten it down. So one of the guys that I was talking to, who's an engineer, he actually does stuff for like the Abrams M1 tank, and it's the YF-22 Raptor. Pretty sure. He said, "Oh man, you know, you could screw that thing in and get the bolt going, and then you could pull the whole thing together. And you know, too bad you couldn't do that the opposite way. Man, if there was something that you can do." And I thought to myself, well, wait a minute, there is. So what I did was I took a bolt into the same very holes that we have here, right? And what I did was I should be trained. It's one of these. No, I think it's this one. I think it's that one. What I did was trained the bolt. This is what we were doing was we were banging the heck out of this thing. We were banging the heck out of it, you know, to the point where we would try to get this kind of into the gap, and then we would work over here, stick something in there so not to lose our progress, and then, you know, wiggle this and try to, you know, it was a nightmare. What I did was, now we're going to thread a larger bolt than this bolt, this little wimpy guy, right? We're going to thread this into this hole. What it's going to do is it's going to push against this back portion, and it's going to pull that plate right off. Oop. Using this larger socket. And this is a part where I wish I had the impact socket, but we'll try to speed this up for you. Try to look like I'm working in fast motion here. There we go. And you'll start to see it come apart. All right. Now, we do it on the other side. Nope. But the amount of time I save is absolutely ridiculous compared to, you know, beating on this thing for a day. Beating on the machine with a hammer. If you're thinking those thoughts, this is not the channel for you. Anyway, so we'll stick this in there so we kind of, you know, like I said, don't lose our progress. And yeah, we'll get this guy going. I hope. Yeah, we don't want to ruin the threads here. Lock that in. There we go. All right. All right, now we're getting there. Now you can watch this start to come apart. There's she goes. All right. Here's what we're gonna have to do. We're gonna have to shed some layers because I'm gonna start sweating. Now that plate, just so everyone has a little reference guide. So that plate is 100 pounds. 100 pounds, kilograms. So that plate is 45 kilograms. If you are working in other parts of the world, yeah. So pretty, heavy stuff. So if it sounds like I'm, gasping for air, well, it's because I am. Anyway, so all right. Let's get the rest of this thing going here. Let's take this thing off. All right, it is off this guide pin here. She is free. See it walking back and forth? All right. Let's remove this. I don't want to hurt the blades. All right. So we're gonna have to get under this to pry it up. Yeah, all right. Get an idea. I got my other. Where's the MVP? There he is. There he is. So get this guy somehow. So I gotta get under the. How do you get under this guy? maybe we can add a fulcrum here. Get under him somehow. Tough thing is there's a bearing that sits in here in this actual plate. Okay, he's right here. Me trying to lift this is lifting this entire side of the shaft. It's this entire side, which is a shaft that has each blade on it. Now, 1, 2, let's see, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 11 blades. Each blade weighs about 10 pounds. So each blade weighs approximately, what is that, 4 kilos? So me trying to lift that ain't gonna happen. So I'm gonna rework this little bolt thing I got going on. Let's see if we can stick something in there, make up the room, so we don't have to go in as far. Will that work? Yes, it will. Okay. What I'm doing now is I stuck this in there, and I'm going to spin this bolt. It's going to hit this instead. All right. Yep, it's working. Oh, it was. Get myself lined up a little bit better. So this is walking off this way. This is trying to squeeze itself, but we got this pinched, so it can't. Yeah, this machine is ours. That's it. This thing's so heavy. I'm always impressed every time I take this thing apart. Always impressed by just how heavy this thing is. Live on YouTube. All right. Take the set down. All right. You know, I wish I had, I don't know, so like electric actuators or something like that, servos that like attach to either side, so that it attached here, it attached somewhere back here. Just kind of drill and tap a hole, and then put the actuator back there, hit a button, and it would just separate this thing manually. That'd be outstanding. Of course, my sledgehammer is not here, but we'll have to get by without it. Let's see if we can park this in there. Park this in there with it. Maybe. All right, you stay. You. So when people are sending me emails and stuff like that, when we throw a blade, you're commenting, or you're like, oh, how come you haven't been posting any videos, or why aren't you this, or why aren't you that? And it's like, yeah, I wish I was, I wish I could, but it's crazy, to try to get this thing apart. That's gonna pop on me. It is absolutely nuts to get this thing apart if you don't have the right tools and da. And again, I bought this. I don't know if you sat through that story, but I bought this thing kind of sight unseen. All right. And had no idea what I was getting myself into. And I had to wrong hammer for the job. Let me run down and get my sledgehammer, if you guys don't mind. Take you with me. I'll tell you the story. So yeah, I just bought this thing sight unseen, and it was one of those things where I had no clue what was going on. It was just like, buy it just to have it, and it was one of those things where we could work on maintenance and getting it fixed later, no matter what the cost. And I'm telling you, I had absolutely no idea how much the cost was. And so yeah, I don't know how many years, and I don't even want to know how many thousands of dollars later. Yeah, we are got the big sledge now. We've compiled a sorry, my phone is gonna die. But yeah, we've compiled a nice little toolkit. And yeah. Ow. That'll wake you up. We get it? Yay, we got it. Big hammer. BFH right here. I won't tell you what the H stands for. But yeah, this thing is from 1981, actually. Someone corrected me, which is great. WrestleMania happened in 1985. This was built in 1981. So, yeah, we had to get this blade specially made. We had to get, like, nothing existed for this. Nothing. So we had to get it all professionally made. Anyway, yeah, that's that. That's a long way around saying this thing is pretty old. But not as it's not as beat up as we, had thought. But oh my god, here we go. Here's the plate. Oh my god, what am I? Oh my god. Lay this thing down. Give you an idea of just what this thing sounds like. I don't know if it'll pick it up though. There you go. Solid. This thing is crazy. So yeah, these are the bearings. These are the bearings now. I'm gonna. Yeah, right. I'm trying to move that. Right, I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna put you guys over here now. So I want you to see. I want you to see this. Actually, I think I might put you over here. All right, what do we have? What do we have? That's not too bad of a shot. All right, so this is our socket we get to use. Hopefully it fits. Oh my lord, it does. Oh, this is fantastic. All right, so again, Zach at Dividing Dot Design on Instagram is the man. All right, she fits. Trial run. This is the first time. I might have too much leverage. I do. I've not leverage, length. Too much length. That's what she said. Sorry. Yep. Grease. Let's see if she works. Yes. Huh. Nice. She works. This is sweet right here. My brother and I spent I couldn't even tell you how long. We spent banging on these things with a hammer and screwdriver, because, well, you can't see it, but they have these notches in them, So those notches, right? And so we were taking the MVP and setting them down in the notch and then banging on them around in a circle. And you could only get a quarter turn at a time. So yeah, it took, I don't even know. Took hours. So yeah, this thing, the reason why this is not working, it's not biting, is because of the hours that were spent by my brother and I banging on these. So yeah, it's not fitting right because they're so warped. I don't want to ruin this thing, which it won't, because my masterful skills of heat treating. Yeah, so we just did this. It's got to come off this way, but it ain't gonna go back on this way. And again, 'It's a lot of light. Okay. Let's see if that will work that I did. Get some of this to bite here. Nope. Nope. That's okay. We'll do it this way for now. It's very uncomfortable. 5-pound sledgehammer gets really heavy after a while. Wow. Nice forearm workout, right? Yeah. It's a little stuck. And so you tap on the threads a little bit. not on the threads, but you tap on the, I think it's called the bearing nut. Tap on the bearing nut. It loosens her up a little bit. Riveting stuff. But this is what I have to do in a day. If I want this machine to run again, if I want to shred electronics again, if I want you guys to have something to watch again, rather than me and all this stupid stuff, then this is what I have to do. We have to do things in life that we don't want to do to get to the place that we ultimately want to, where we ultimately want to be, right? And yeah, you know, nothing's really a failure if you look at it. You know, even if it's, you know, something you didn't want to do. This thing's killing my leg, this bearing plate thing. You know, even a job or relationship or something like that, even if, you know, even if it's, oh God, even if it's something that ultimately failed, let's just say, right? Here we go. Real talk. Even if it's, look, even if it's something that you didn't want to do, or, you know, a person that you were in a relationship a little too long with, or something, whatever it is, you know, whatever scenario, what it ultimately comes down to, is, even though you were kind of in that job, you were either in the job or you were in the relationship or whatever it was that you didn't want to do, you know, you did, and you learned that, well, it's not something that I wanted to do. Well, now you know. It wasn't a failure. Now you know what you don't want to do. You know, I've reduced it, this part of my life, to, you know, a lot of people are, well, I guess this is like a two-parter. Now, I'll try to not talk for 20 minutes, which is apparently all the comments tell me is really easy for me to do, just to talk. Hey. Uno. We're not going to use this one anymore. We're going to use one of those freshies. Yeah, it's like a lot of people are trying to, like, reduce life, and they're trying to say, oh, life is, you know, about, you know, chipping away at things and finding out, you know, who you are. And I don't know, I agreed with that to a certain point, but, you know, I agreed with it because oh, come on. I used to travel a little bit, and, you know, there's a lot that was there, and I used to think, like, you know, it's out there somewhere, and I'm gonna find it, you know, and it's gonna be the thing that makes me happy, and it's gonna this, and it's gonna that, and all this stuff. And all that was out there was disappointment. All that was out there was nothing. all it did, all being out there, and like let me not to brag, but it's like 145, 150 countries that I've been to. The shorter story is, what countries haven't I been to, right? And so I've been very fortunate. However, in that, oh my God, you know, it was, I had it in me the entire time. All the answers and everything were inside the entire time, right? Look within. And sometimes you have to do the things you don't want to do in order to remove those from the list and, you know, realize what it is that you do want to do. And you know, there's a lot of that. There's a lot of that in this world. And well, keep chipping away. So I don't want this to happen, but of course it's going to happen because I said I didn't want it to happen to get to this. But these things are so mashed, this guy won't line up. He won't line up. So yeah. Anyway. So we have to do this one last time to pay tribute and homage to the engineering gods. So, yeah. Anyway, there's a lot of things that this world will show you, and one of them is that you are in charge of your own happiness. And so, to kind of further that discovery, you know, of having to travel around to realize, you know, it's all within you, and you have to listen to it. Well, you know, it's easy for someone who already knows to tell you, oh man, it's easy. You know, it's easy when it's easy. And you know, well, how come you don't know? How come you don't know how to do that? Or how come you don't know how to do that? It's like, you know, a really good friend of mine, he just learned how to install an operating system on a computer, right? And he thought, you know, oh my God, you know, this it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be, you know, super hard to do. He's installing multiple operating systems simultaneously now. It's crazy. Yes, Mario, I'm talking about you. But yeah, it sounds difficult, and your mind plays tricks on you, but you have to do it. You got to just do it. You got to do it. You got to lay hands on it, and of course you're going to fail, and you know the light's going to come down on you a couple times and all this other stuff, but fail. Don't be afraid to fail. Failure is not failure. Failure is part of learning. I don't care what anyone talks about failing. I've failed so many times. You know, failure. I failed so many times. But you know what? You keep going, because now you, whether you knew, okay, so whether you learn how to do it the first time properly and you successfully do it, okay, that's great. Wonderful. Good job. You're part of the very few people on this planet that, you know, get stuff right the first time. But then there are the people who, you know, it takes a couple times to you know, to get stuff done and to you know, to learn that side of things. And that's, part of that failure. And, you got to fail. If you don't fail, you don't learn. If you don't learn, well, I don't know. I don't know what happens after that, but it's probably not going to be good. I just want to make sure these are the right ones and that these will go back on. So yeah, we have to be kind of the curator and custodian of our own health and our own well-being. And when you're trying to chip away, people always say chip away, at the statue of who you are and all that metaphysical stuff, philosophical stuff. It's like, I don't know. I'm kind of turning this new leaf lately and saying, no, it's not about chipping away at who we are. It's really about, let's see if this works. It's really about filling yourself with what you want to become, right? I always say, to my friends and stuff like that, don't look back in regret. There is no looking back. This thing works wonderfully. There is no looking back in regret, because you were working with the best set of tools, or you were working with the best set of circumstances at the time. They always say, oh, you work with the hand that you've been dealt. And it's like, well, so when you look back, you can't say like, oh, I could have done this better, or I could have done that better. No, look at what you had available to you at the time. Like, no. So when you look back, you're looking back at a person who you were trying to become. You're looking back as the person you have become, at the person who was trying to become the person you are now. So it's like, you can't judge yourself too hard from the past. You could say, okay, that's what we did, or that's what I did, or that's what happened. Okay, given the circumstances, let's try to not have that happen again, right? Okay. And move on and get better at the things that you want to get better at. And that's really what we have. But as far as happiness and that kind of stuff, I think that we don't have to chip away at who. This thing is ridiculously great, by the way. We're not chipping away at who we need to find. What we do is we need to build to who we want to become. That's what I think. I think we start as an empty vessel, and we become. I don't think we start full and then chip away. I don't know. I think there's some people out there that got it a little skewed. This is disgusting, by the way. And yeah, that's it. There you go. Meanwhile, back at the shredder. So these bearing nuts are so out of whack that like this thing won't even fit. This thing doesn't even fit them. And this is a 3.5 inch socket. So, or 3-inch socket, sorry. 75 millimeter. So this thing doesn't even fit. Like half of it fits. But it's working. Yeah, it's working. All right. Perfect. Now, can I remove this? Yes. All right. Put this over here. Remember this bad boy we built earlier? Now he goes in there. And these guys fit in here. Yep. This begins this process. That guy goes in there. All right, he hangs on there. This guy tucks in there. And then this guy hooks onto that. All right. Let's pump this thing. The shaft is pressing through the shaft there. This pin is pushing on the shaft. These are grabbing onto the bearing. And let me get a little weight. All right. He's off. Nope, it was just easy for the tool to do it. Of course, I thought, oh yeah, I could do it by hand. No. Of course, everything is like on a hinge, so it's super hard to keep together. What I should do is I should at some point find a way to oh man, oh, we bottomed out. What I should do is try to find a way to get like a bungee, you know, take like a cutter and notch this out so that I can fit a bungee cord around here and, you know, hold this tight as I'm, you know, pumping this thing. That's all we get. Apparently that's all we get. You know, maybe I have to switch these up and decrease. Maybe I have to decrease the angle here. Well, it's not going to take too long now that we've got our fingers and hands working. Worked up a little bit of a sweat. Good thing. Of course, there's always one in the bunch that's going to give us a little bit of guff here. Oh, awesome. Oh, there you go. Alrighty. I should have washers in here so it doesn't bind up and really tighten up. But hey. Okay, that's all we're gonna get. So again, if I had bungees, I'd be able to hold this. All right. All right, there she is. And there's the bearing. Big old bearing. Yeah, put them down on something nice. So, yeah, that motherboard will do. All right. Repeat the process. Mm. Yeah, well, it crap though. Yeah. Gonna have to grab it further in. Funny thing about that is there's these rings. Just want to be careful. So you don't want to damage those rings. You know, these things have been on this machine for about as long as I've been alive. It's like, leave it to me to be the one who wrecks it, right? Again, curator of your own happiness. You know, look to also be, you know, to have the, what I call the custodial responsibility. For getting it. All right, I really need this guy. All right. He came off quick. There's bearing number 2. All right. So first bearing we'll keep over here on the left. And this bearing was this guy on the right. But this is actually the left. This is actually the right. But yeah. Anyway. All right. Moment of truth. Here we go. Big drum roll, please. Get all this out of the way. You got to stack these. You got to remember how they come off. You got to be able to put them back on the same way. So this is a comb. This is a spacer. Here we go. Here he is. Look at this guy. Remember this guy? I vowed I am not disassembling this to take it off the machine. I'm going to slide it right out. And we did. Awesome. Awesome. There you go. All right. So we need to put a blade in here right there and get this thing back together. And yeah, I don't know. Do we look to see, what else is kind of pretty messed up in here? We've got this blade right here is no longer a blade. Do we, do we do something with him too? I don't know. But what we're going to do is we're going to jog this machine while we're in it. Yep. I'm turning it on. And yeah, I'm going to switch you around like this. And all right. So here we go. We're going to bump it. Just going to bump it. All right, now we can see, like this blade here is not that bad. Not that bad. This guy's not bad. This guy's not bad. This guy's not bad. This little dude right here, he's okay too. All right. I mean, you have this guy right here. That guy, he's almost flat. But here's the thing, we've got to kind of play. Yeah, and now we're back around again to this dude. He's taking up space and he's not broken. I don't know if he's going to be the next one to break. I can't predict that. But, I mean, look at, these blades are hard. Look at this gouge that was taken out. I mean, that is ridiculous, whatever hit that. And we're back. Sorry about that. Apparently phones need to be plugged in. So Yeah, where do we leave off? Yeah, let me see something there. Okay. So yeah, I just had to plug in. So I'm going to put you over here because that's where I have it plugged in. And I'm going to go around to the other side. Maybe not. So I was saying how the odds of predicting which blade is going to break next is like impossible, right? So I could sit here and I could point out any number of these blades and say, oh yeah, you're going to be the one that breaks next, and that'll never happen that way. So I'm not going to say, this is the blade that's going to break, so I'm going to replace him right now. Anyway, so out of 22 blades, that's next to impossible. So I'm not going to, let me grab you. I'm not going to replace this nasty one. I'm not going to replace that. I'm going to leave him in there, and he's just going to have to to play nice. And if he's the one that breaks, then, well, you know what? That's the one that breaks. But I do have a freshie right here. It's nice. He's not sharpened. He was sent to us in kind of a hurry. And so we're just going to, let's see. I'm going to throw him on. Oh. No. Yeah. Oh. So I got to take these guys off because he tucks in between here. So I'll just take these guys off. But hey, man. Oh my God. Talk about an arm workout. All right. This guy goes back on. And then this dude, I guess, will go there like that. That's it. Now we put it back together. Oh, isn't that crazy? Oh, no. This guy goes back on. This is these are they're called combs. So when material goes around and gets caught in between the blades and it gets shredded up, sometimes it comes back around. When it comes back around, it hits these combs, and just make sure that well, it does what a comb does. It takes, removes stuff from your hair, remove stuff from whatever it is you're combing. So yeah, I am in instantly better spirits. All right, we put the spacer back on this side, and yeah, now we can put this whole thing back together again. Yeah, wonderful. So, yeah. Now we reassemble. All right. So, this one. This one was from this side. It's funny, you can never take them off by hand, but you can put them back on by hand. Don't understand that. But I usually have a piece of wood around me that I can tap these back together with. But just gently tap. You know what I might have? An old spacing. All right. Yowza. Again, swinging a 5-pound hammer is yeah, whatever, I'm not complaining. Nice. Yep. I'll let the bolt do the rest, right? Whew. All right. Now, what I'm noticing is I bought 2 of these. I should have 4. So, yeah. I'm going to have to reuse, I guess, the best 2 out of the 4 that I have. So gross. These are the last stop for these gloves. All right. So, which 2 will they be? This one doesn't seem that bad. Seam. That's the word. Seam. And then you got these 2 up here. And I don't know, actually, these two are better. These two are way better than these two over here. So that is how we're going to do this. That is how we're going to do these. And yeah, that's all sketch. These rings. Yeah. All right. And make sure we, get this right. So greasy. All right. Spanner socket for the win. Spanner socket and the hammer. Oh yeah, these were, like I said, these were a little warped. These original bolts, bearing bolts. But whatever. It's working. It's not great, but it's better than see, it's a different, actually, I'm noticing that it's a different kind of it's a different kind of bolt. Not a bolt, nut. It's a different kind of nut. Excruciating. So this nut is what I made that for. That is a perfect fit. This does not do that. I mean, maybe if I tapped it, give it a little taparoo, but I don't want to risk snapping one of those, spanner tabs, whatever it's called. One of those little tabs. I don't want to, so I'll use it unconventionally for a little bit here. Just kind of walk it around. Oh, how annoying though. I mean, it almost works. It'll work on these. It'll work on the new ones. I'll tell you that much. Tell you what. And I just have to get it, I think, past that initial part of the, like the, I don't know what this is called, the top of the thread. I mean, look at that now. She's flying. Well, she's not. gotta lock those bearings on all the way. Yeah, we gotta squeeze those bearings. Yeah, there's still a little bit of a gap back here. So we're gonna take up that room. Well, I am going to actually I can't even believe I'm saying this. Come back for a 5-part finale. Jeez. Holy Toledo, I swear. And yeah, we're gonna finish this in 5 parts. It's the other side of our business actually is what we need to I need to concentrate on right now. So we're under a little bit of a time constraint there. I didn't think it was gonna, take this long. I mean, I was supposed to have, this done, and we were supposed to go live today and, be able to shred and stuff, but that was last week. I had this planned. Anyway, we're I'm going to continue on with this, and I'll have it to the point where these bolts, I mean, these nuts will be on, and then I will use our new spanner socket. Now, let me see if I could just get like one. Yeah. See, that's on. Let's see if I can jog this thing. Let's see if I can put this. If I could put this bearing on faster, I don't have to sign off on you guys. That's all it is. It's this bearing. Can this bearing go on faster? Let's get this bearing on. Let's go. Yeah, I'll go over that. Yeah, he's going on. So easy that is now. So I just need to hammer him a little bit more. Seriously, 5-pound sledge is 25-pound sledge after you've been. All right. Good thing I got another one right here. It's gonna do me like that. Yeah. Quicker. He only has a tiny bit of the way to go. I'll keep hitting him. I'll keep hitting him with the spacer. I might be able to just... No. It's as good as I'm going to get him over there. And he's already on. So, get this guy. This is a key. He goes on. Where is he? There he is. He goes on like that. And this dude goes on like this. Whoa, almost lost you. Wait, which one am I using here? Okay, so this guy's going to go. We're going to use him over there. I'm going to use him over there. This new guy I'm going to use over here. All right. And remember, this was made for him. So maybe what I'll do is I'll cut these a little lower so the pins are longer. Other than that, he's good. It's just getting on. Stretch those threads out a little bit. Yeah, I'll have to cut those down. Full of grease. Well, they're holding up. So the heat treatment worked. It's just, yeah. I hate to do it. Oh, I don't want to do it. Yeah, I'm gonna need to cut those down. It's working though. Intended purpose. It's just awkward angle. Like I have to hold it in and twist at the same time. All right. I'm not going any further with it. Unfortunately, I'm going to have to cut this down just a little bit. I'm going to have to make those notches bigger for any of this to work and make sense. So I can take these nasty gloves off and thank you there for watching this 113 minutes. Like nobody has videos this long. Maybe they do. It's those like black screen, rainforest, distant thunder, ASMR, like calming videos. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching for just about 2 hours. Lord, shout out to Matt Posa and his dogs there. Yeah, he's got some pretty cool videos. It's like camping videos. Guy's absolutely hysterical, and his dogs are even funnier. Yeah, Monty and Ruger. Monty and Ruger. Shout out to those guys too. Anyway, thanks for tuning in. I will cut that spanner so that those tabs are a little longer so that they bite. You can see they barely go in. So what I'll do is I'll take the meat from around here out so those pins stick in a little further. And yeah, and we'll make this one a 5-parter. You just got to look at it like, how many Halloween movies were there? Like Friday the 13th? There were like 13, right? Or something like that. I don't know. How many Harry Potters were there? You know what I mean? Star Wars is on what? Shred TV. Come on. Episode 5. We'll call this one The New Hope. But we'll end it there. And thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all of your support. Thanks for all of your ideas, by the way. Half this stuff I wouldn't have been able to do if it wasn't for the ideas of many. Remember, I'm just one person who has very limited resources as far as ideas and that kind of thing. And you guys really, step up and say, hey, what if you use that instead? What if you pry this there and do, stick that thing and, turn it with that other tool. So I love it. Keep them coming. And Monday, maybe Tuesday. I don't know. I'll set something up over the weekend, and we'll all see this thing. We'll go back together. And again, it'll never have to be used. The forklift, this guy, it's actually a straddle lift, will never ever have to be used again to take this monster hopper off. I mean, I can't even reach it. But yeah. Anyway, thank you, and have a great weekend. If you're in a part of the world where you're already having a good weekend, keep having yourself a good weekend. Yeah, and we'll sign off there. You know what to do. Keep pressing on. Keep coming up with ideas. Keep working those ideas. Keep failing, because failure is a step in the right direction towards success and progress. So You guys keep at it, keep shredding life, and I will talk to you soon. All right.